Every happy, I think it's Monday. Yep, it's Monday. I do not have a clue what day it is, which side is up and which side is down. I just keep on honoring myself and where I'm at, and just do the best I can in this moment. I don't worry about tomorrow. I don't fret about later today. I just focus on the present moment. And as things come up, they come up. So there's going to be some shifts, which I've mentioned before, but I was having a bit of a conversation with a friend of mine. Oops. How do I say this? I can't do two things at once here. Just try and take my personal Facebook page and make it public. And then I'm going to pin it to the top. So, as most of you guys know, who's been following me, especially the last week, major shifts, major shifts, and I'm just going for this amazing ride. And what's come very clear to me now, I understand why I can't talk to people. I'm starting to really understand. This journey that we are all on is an inner journey. Totally 100% inner. And for those who are not familiar with this part of my journey, my journey started actually in 1996. And I used to say then, which I no longer say this term, I said then I lost myself. I wasn't losing myself. I was actually finding myself. And because of the way they saw things then, because I knew no different, I got caught up in the Western medical system of pharmaceutical to do this, pharmaceutical to do that. So I've been caught up in these medications pretty well since then. And I know I never wanted to be on them, but I didn't understand the intensity of what I was feeling, what I was experiencing then, what it really truly was. But I now know what it was. And that's the most important thing about all of us in our journeys. There's no right, there's no wrong, anything. It's our individual journeys. But most of the times what causes us pain, I'm going to use that word pain, it could be your circumstances, it could be somebody, it can be a whole gamut of things that when we struggle trying to be everything that they, oh, I'll say this, I'll say that, I'll dress this way, I'll do my hair this way, I'll do my makeup this way, and I'll make sure I got the perfect outfit that just makes me look so wonderful. I think that's wonderful if you're doing it from your heart, not for the sake of an image of or the persona you want to put out to everybody. Because when you start putting a persona of yourself out there, the way you want them to perceive you to be is a falsehood to yourself. You're trying to live and be in a falsehood of who you truly are. And how you want to look, be. Are you being authentic and genuine of how you feel and how you would like to dress, not for the image out here. This image doesn't matter. It's the inner image we have of ourselves. So we can, this persona, don't ask me where the hell the shit's coming from, but it's just coming through me right now. It's we get sometimes we're not even really consciously aware what we are co-creating and creating for ourselves. And then we think because we presented ourselves this way, okay, I can't show them really who I am over here. The truth is, if you get rid of the persona and how you want people to perceive who you are, how it's shown up as you are. Dress, say what you feel from your heart, from your soul. Because when we do that, that never changes. We don't have to alter our state in order to accommodate somebody else. And I think that's where, I've had some situations that happened very recently that really helped me to assist me to really start to see this for what it is. I could phrase, like there's, I'll take back the, I could phrase, I'll take that back. It's just, and I've always, however long I've been coming online, sharing my music from time to time, which is now in a level that's incredible for me, is what you see here is exactly who you're going to meet. And when I say this, my longtime friend, we've been friends, 2.5 to 3 years, which is Delia Flores. And I got to physically meet her August last year. As I was fortunate enough, and Spirit made sure it happened, that I was at Soulful G Fest. And it was quite funny because I can see it all. It was incredible because it's pitch black. We're in the friggin' mountains, okay? In other words, there's no street lights, okay? We are in the mountains. And driving along, and I'm just trying to watch the road, what the GPS is telling me, because all I put in the GPS was Mulberry Mountain. And this thing took us. All of a sudden, I realized what I'm looking at, because like all of a sudden, there's a dark image, and I could see like some weight stuff. Of course, remember, I'm still driving, so I'm not really looking. I'm sort of glancing. And all of a sudden, I saw people, and I went, holy shit. We are here. We're at the stage, is where we are. And so I get out of my car, and there was 3 to 5 people or so that were there. Now, the only person that I've known for a long period of time was Delia, so I spot her. She was one of those people, and I just gave her the biggest hug and said, I love you. And so this is Delia's first time experiencing me in person, physically. And after we came back from Soulful G Fest, I don't know where we were. I think it was on a live I was having, and she commented, and she said that what you see here is the same in person. Exact same. And it's like, that was the highest compliment, because I doubt myself in my mind thinking, okay, maybe if I do this, do that. And as I say this, I had this boss, because how they wanted their business to appear. First of all, I don't wear dresses, never have. Can't say never have, but earlier years. Number one. And she wanted to take me out to buy a lady's blouse, which I don't buy ladies' blouses. That's just who I am. And wanted me to get a purse, higher heel shoes, which I never wear heels, period. And I remember feeling then that it was not a case of what I was comfortable in. It's how the persona they wanted to present to other people. I was never so thankful to not be working for them anymore. It took me a while, but I did. And I think that's the thing about all of us in this persona that we try to present ourselves as being, you know, more than who we really are. It's or how we feel or how we dress or how we anything. We need to stop that. We are creating a because this is what's coming to me is the energy when you're trying to present a persona, that energy is not in total alignment with who you are. You're trying to be something that you're not. So they will perceive you. You know, it's I just, as I reflect back what my bosses did to me, I understand it to a point. And as I reclaimed my own identity and not trying to be this, and that was part of the process, is that I dress how I feel. There's a certain type of shirts I like. That's why you see multiple colors in the similar kinds of shirts, because I like those kinds of shirts. I don't usually ever wear shirts that have a logo on them. That's just part of who I am. And of course, it's men's shirts. That is my comfort. I'm not asking you to be your comfort in my comfort, and vice versa. But it's amazing how we adjust ourselves to present ourselves to be to others. And I feel, as I say this, with the image I'm getting is my beautiful friend, Kate Lumley. I thanked her last night. And I sincerely mean that. And she, by her just showing up as she is, what you see online is what you get in person. Okay? There's no difference. You just get to see the physical form now. And like, there's an energy between her and I that you can't put a thought to it. It's a feeling. That we respect and love each other for who we are. Because it's genuine, it's authentic, and it's real. She has helped me to go, okay, because I look at myself. I don't look at her. I look at myself. And just at, and I'm watching her. And she reminded me of something the other day she was talking. I think it was when Todd, she usually does a little share pretty much every day. If you're not following her, I recommend you follow her. She's on there every day with some kind of magic. And she said something that reminded me. That how many people, and this is the thoughts coming to me right now as I'm speaking this, that when I was a kid, I have an older narcissistic brother. And I have two brothers, by the way. I'm in the middle. And he's a serious bully. We could just say he's a fucking asshole. Plain and simple. And even when we were kids, if I called up our neighbors, and this is what's coming to me, and they're showing me this, is, I would call up Barbara and Susan just down the road if they want to come hang out. Sit here, so they're now coming to my place. Willard comes in, takes over, and does whatever he wants to do with them. And from that early childhood, that's where it stemmed from. They're both fitting in. Another one they're showing me right now is a situation that, I was raised on a one room school in Norborough, Prince Edward Island, which is the far east coast of Canada. Far, far east coast. Not Ontario, not, Quebec, farther east. And there was a couple bullies there too. One kid named David. I don't know if I should say his last name or not. I think I get mixed messages or feelings on that, like, do I not? And I think I'll just leave the name David. That's far enough, which I've never publicly ever said his name. And he would bully me in a different way in order to manipulate me to do something so I could just even play ball. And even, get into high school, I look at other people who got friends, that they hang out, they do this and that, and I never fit into that. My whole entire life, I've always been different inside. But I just didn't understand. So my journey, my travels have been what they are to where I am now. Well, that was pretty good, wasn't it? Just the way it came out. And that every situation that appears, and when I say that, not situation, I'll take that back, is when things appear. This is part of my conversation. This is where I'm heading for, I think, wherever they're taking me. That I knew somebody was not in alignment with me. I knew that the first time I talked to them. This is not a judgment. Observation of myself. And, I said as much as what I said in that moment was truth. That doesn't mean that I had to say it. And I apologize for that afterwards, on the second time I met this person, because I just owned it. Because I don't sit there and dwell over every single word that comes from any conversation I have with people, but I reflect on it, and then something will jump out at me, and I'll go, oh, shit. Okay, I guess I didn't need to say that, did I? Ooh. So I own that. But I'm not beating myself up over it. Learn, grow, and expand. And where I got myself into a situation, because I've been telling you guys since mid-October that I'm not talking to anybody, and I sincerely meant that. And even this person, I'm doing a live when I'm channeling, and a lot of people, what I realized through this experience, a lot of people don't really know what channeling is. They know what the word means, but they actually don't know what it means, because they themselves have not experienced that yet. To understand themselves. And again, we're all working towards to get more connected with our heart and our soul. And all of a sudden that flow, I had a thought, it's what happens when I lose the channel. Welcome back. Oh, yes. That as much as I'm not talking to anybody, this person I know what they're going through. I get the struggles. And I kept on compromising me by talking. And one of the last conversations we had, and they, yeah, and they went, oh, I said, look, I can't talk about that right now. And it kept on going. I try to phrase it another way, if maybe that will register with them. Try that way. Still, because their assumption and their perception and what they feel a friend is even if her friend, because she considered us more friends than I knew. I was very clear within myself what level of a friend is she. Right? Because that's the thing about friends. They all have different levels. It's just that intimate relationship, that connection that is so special with every single individual, because we're all unique. And so I did get a little snarky, a little abrupt. Well, I'm telling you, I can't talk. And they just kept on ignoring instead of zipping it and stopping midair. Okay, Ernie. There's another friend that I had. We've been friends for 2.5 years in this community. These people I'm talking about in our community. And, they knew I call it hermit mode now, which means I'm not talking. And she's going, well, you're talking now. Yeah, but I'm talking to people, having a conversation, a dialogue. That part. This is energy. This is all free for all. Right? But I can't have a conversation. I cannot have a dialogue with anybody. I can be present with myself as I come on here. I'm very present within myself. But here's the thing is this. And this is the conversation I had with my beautiful long-time friend, very long time friend, pointed out to me. I talked about this, and I said, because I look at things if I'm not quite sure, and if I'm getting stuck, and I'm there for any period of time, meaning a day or 2 or 3. And so I called her up, I texted her, and I said, get time to chat. We know what that means with each other. We're straightforward, 2 incredible beings. And let me go, get time for a chat? That means you need to talk. I know when she says the same thing to me in her way, I know it means to talk. And she knows I'm doing lives. I know she's got a family. Like, it just, the magic between her and me is amazing. But here's the thing is this. She said to me that this person had, the other person who, sorry, I started over there. I'll come back to this part in a sec. Bring it back to me. Is this other person started messaging me, this longtime friend. And right? And I told everybody, I'm not talking to anybody, please. Silence type thing. That person texts once, a couple times, 5 times, 6 times over a short period of time. And I'm getting irritated. And I said to this person, I'm in quiet mode, like hermit, like I'm not talking to anybody. Yeah, I know, but what kind of friend would I be? So I turned around and responded back to him, very clear, very direct, like a matter of fact, I said, if you're any kind of friend, and I say no communications, period, you would show me respect and regard for my boundaries on this, at this time, this moment. They came back. That's all they did. That's all I needed. I don't need to have a dialogue about da-da-da-da. My boundaries are very clear. They're my boundaries. You are not me. I am not you. My job and my responsibility is to do my utmost to respect your boundaries. But at the same time, the one thing I do know about what I've always done is I just didn't make that connection. And I'm now making that connection that I just looked at something that threw me off a little bit. Sorry. Whatever it is, I'm just going to sort of talk a bit more. I actually come on here to play, not realize I was going to talk. Oh, I know. Sorry. That's what happens. So I wasn't respecting my own boundaries from the get-go with this person, despite them knowing everything about what's going on with me personally. And my frustration of, because what happens is, which I've been reflecting on, is I'm very like, I can talk, but if I say I can't talk about this right now, later, that means exactly that. And then they go, well, okay, but, and then they come back into it again, right? And I'm getting frustrated, and how it comes out on me is I'm very clear, direct, and abrupt. You can call it abrupt. Just means I'm very clear. No wishy-washy, no iffiness inside of me. Go, well, if you don't mind. I don't do that. I'm very direct. And it's interesting because they said, this person accused me afterwards of being very dominant. I'm going, what the fuck? Because this person's perception and view is that I'm dominating the conversation by cutting her off because she already told me that's good enough. I hear it, right? I'm going to respond accordingly, not based on my internal self, but based on intel that I'm getting. And I'm going to be very clear. Like, I don't have time to chat about shit. Anything. Like, even with my friends, Deb and myself, our friendship and our relationship is we are real and authentic in that moment as much as we're able to be. She'll kick me in the arse, I'll kick her in the arse, but it's with love and respect. You know, it's just like we're talking and she goes, all right, I gotta go. That's it. You go, that's okay. I know it's not personal. And that's the thing. If we do take something personal, well, she's being dominant, she's carrying the conversation and won't have a dialogue with me. No, but that's just, it is what it is. But their perception and view and their interpretation of what something is doesn't necessarily make it true. It's their perception and their view of this or that. And this is what I'm seeing more clearly all the time because of my willingness, my soul's desire to understand. It's just like when my friend Deb, we were talking, like we have a conversation. We just talked about the matter of fact, right? We don't have it's such a pleasure to talk to somebody that I don't have to go wishy-washy. Right? I can just say it. And I've been learning that because of my friend. I'm firing that muscle and stretching it. Oh, there I am. Yeah. And I'm also understanding what happens for me and how I respond and why I'm more clear. Because I already set out a boundary saying, I can't talk about that or anything else. Can't talk. And here's the thing about this. With what I do, I'm, like I already mentioned this briefly, I'm always in a constant channel. Not at any given time am I not in that. It's a flow of energy, which I love. And when I channel that energy through my guitar and I'm on here, no matter if it's 30 minutes, 2 hours, it doesn't matter. While I'm here, now I'm even going deeper in to that channel. And like this past, like, if you think about all that, there's everything I'm sharing with you is accumulation of what's happened in the last 5 days. And me looking at myself and understanding why, you know, somebody would choose to ignore my boundaries. Because their perception is, I'm a friend, I don't have to respect your boundaries. That is pure bullshit. That's where there's this mentality of where you're playing the role back in that 3D patriarchal society, how you present yourself to be in order to look this way. Why not just show up as you are, dress as you feel like it? This whole thing I'm just speaking about is all coming full circle now, is show up as you are, claim who you are. Don't try to dress, act, and appear a certain way to think that they'll like you more, because most of us can sense and feel and see the the lack of authenticity being 100% real. They're only being partially real. So then that's where, with our senses within ourselves, we don't need to understand everything. We just can sense and feel stuff. That's how I operate. Some of you guys may see, but I sense and feel. And I go, okay, so I need to use a little discernment here with this person. I need to use my discernment. And somebody said something to me, and at the time I just didn't realize. I did, but I ignored it in that moment. And what happened was I lost my wind, I could say. I couldn't breathe. And we just jumped into the vehicle. So like I said, I need air. That's all I knew in that moment. Got out of the vehicle, stood there, and they said, "Are you all right?" I said, yep. Just, I'm fine, right? If I wasn't, I would say so. And it took me a bit. I could feel the energy coming from her saying, hurry up, but not really, everything in her life is around a clock, a schedule. I don't live my life that way. And, it's like this kind of thing, like, I have no control, but I could feel this anxiousness. That's the word I'm looking for. There we are. Anxiousness. So I got back into the vehicle and then on the drive back to her place, she says, come the new year, I'm going to get you on a nice healthy diet, da-da-da-da-da. I heard what she said. She doesn't even know what happened, what really happened, or why it happened. Her assumptions, and her speculation, her perception, her view. I know I'm an overweight person. You don't have to fucking tell me that or imply that to me. But here's the thing is that here we go back to the body image. Oh, I got to be standard, thin. I wear, size, whatever the fuck it is. Petite stuff in order to be acceptable. And again, going back to the facade. And that's where what you guys see is what you get. And when it comes to my weight, like I don't allow a lot of people into this sacredness of my heart, this part, because it's painful inside. But and there's a part of me that goes, well, they meant well. Yeah, but you intruded. You intruded into a sacred space that you have no fucking right to do. And I think that's the thing for all of us. It is when these people think they have the right to project whatever they perceive something to do. If you do this, it will fix your problem. I know me best. I was having this very conversation with my same friend. We had this yesterday about actually it wasn't the other day, whenever it was, but I love my friend and I can't wait to introduce you guys to her because we're going to come on here spontaneously because that's how things work with us both. We don't plan nothing other than doctor's appointments. that kind of thing. Anything outside of that, it's free flow, whatever feel like in the moment. And she said this to me, and she cracks me up. She goes, doesn't she think that when we wake up in the morning, we know? And like when she said how she said, I could see exactly what she meant. Don't you fucking think we know that when we wake up that we're oversized? What was your first observation? What was my first observation? Oh, no. I'm sorry, I'm being smart ass right now. Maybe not okay, but I'm in this moment right now. But here's the thing is, I look at myself as well. Like when I said about something that I said to this person, I said, and I owned it. I realized afterwards, and I went, the next time I saw, not over the phone, because it wasn't an urgency. It will happen when it happens. That's how I roll. And so I had this person, an opportunity it was in person. And I said, look, I want to apologize to you. This is what I said. As much as what I said is true, doesn't mean I had the right to say it out loud. And that's where I did not use my discernment. And every time this stuff I look at everything within me. What's going on with me? Da, 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 da. But I'll own my fucking shit. I take every situation. I'm learning to really, truly, truly trust everything and everything that's coming in and through me. What it is. Like it's just these medications that I've been on since 1996 and coming off them since October 21st has been me reawakening what was happening back in 96, a reawakening now. But the difference of my journey today is I have this amazing community of incredible beings. That's the only word I'm going to use. Because some people say, well, it's this galactic, or it's that galactic, or it's Sirius, it's this. No, we are amazing beings. You may understand that over there. I don't understand it, and I don't need to understand, because some people think here, I'll tell you all about it. I don't know. Did I ask? No. So why do we voluntarily start trying to educate people? Is that our, and you could even, do you say there, and here's the other part, it's coming to, holy shit, I'm really on a bloody roll here, is that, did they say, look, I know you don't really know much about this, whatever, would you like to hear more? Ask. Most people will be honest with you. Go, no, thank you, but thanks for asking. All right. Again, with my friend Deb, she sends me stuff, and I go, Deb, I'm not into that. What you're into, that. And I said, but you need to stop sending me that stuff, please. Even our conversations had to shift massively. 2019, 2020. And just everything. And when I found that having these thoughts and these getting caught up in that energy was pulling me down, I had to say to her, look, because I could find myself doing this. I'm shaking inside, like, as I say that, I was just pointing it out to me as I said that, because, I didn't know at that point how to say to her, I can't talk about this, but I could feel this shit going on inside of me. So one day I finally said it to her. She goes, okay. And she's done it the odd time, and I said, I can't talk. And as soon as I go to say, she goes, oh shit, yeah, sorry. Right? Because we do get caught up in the moment, and we're just whatever. I get it. But that's the beauty of a true friendship, a true relationship where you can speak your truth without any consequences. I know I'm done pussyfooting around. And I think that's why this whole process I've been through has been amazing. Like I'm opening up, coming off these medications. It's just like sensing and feeling. That's where there's only two people I talk to if I really need to. And the beautiful part, you guys, since I started this part of my journey, I have not had to reach out to anybody. Because Spirit said, it's time. And I do have like 8, 10, 12 people that I've reached out to be a part of my process if I need them, only if I need them. I never expect any one person to do it all because everybody's busy, but only if I really need to. And it's so good to see this out loud. I'm trying to get a visual thing here in my brain to tell you, I want to get 2 more drops on one medication. And my second medication, which I just started 2 days ago, is I only have 1 more to drop off of that, and I'm done. But what's happening is my willingness to look at, is this the medications or is it this? And what I'm finding out is that my beautiful friend, she was saying to me, like, that is Deb, that, it's your brain firing. Your brain's starting to fire again the way it used to. When she said it, I knew exactly what she meant because I can feel it. Okay. Because I check in to make sure, to the best of my ability, what's really going on. Not what I think is going on, but is it this? She's my go-to gal. She's my go-to friend. And when I say there's a lot of people, if you really look at the type of people you have in and around you, we have all kinds of friends at very different levels. But for me, going from not having been included on anything my entire life, there's always been conditioning, blah, 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 and it never felt right. But I just didn't know any different. I had a young girl, just so you know, I was in the military at my really early age, and I was an instructor this year, and we had, there were kids, and it's like a summer job for kids, and but it was, it was Prince Edward Island Regiment, Summerside PEI. And a couple of years ago, this message came to me out of the blue. I think I shared a picture of something. Yeah, I think that's what it was that activated her, for her to say to me on a text. She said, "You were really mean to me and another girl. You wouldn't allow us to go to the shooting range because whatever it was." And my heart sunk. And I apologized to her. I said, "I am so sorry. What I did to you was not right. I can't go back and change it. But I'm truly sorry that I hurt you to this degree, to this depth." She responded back and said, "Thank you." Then I responded back and said, to be very frank and honest, back then, I was only doing the way I was trained to do. because I come from a very dysfunctional family full of alcoholism, narcissistic, codependent enmeshment, you name it down the list. And I just didn't understand it. And I'm really sorry. She came back to me and she goes, I come from her. She goes, me too. And I know the feeling and what you're saying and meaning. There is no excuses. There's no justification. It was just a matter of fact. Like I said, when she told me, my heart sunk to think that I hurt somebody else. And that's where we may say or do things that may hurt another, and to think that I was in this position of superiority. They're just being kids, and then I end up being the asshole because they wouldn't smarten up. I warned them, and I pulled them from going to the range. I was being the asshole because they were just kids. I'm not calling myself an asshole. I'm talking about what I did was being an asshole. And I'm so glad that she brought it to my attention and she had the courage to say something to me. And she held on to it all those years. And this is going back to 1973, 74. Yeah. I do a lot of inner reflection, not to look for answers, but for me to understand and make these connections. And like my friend Deb, where she said to me today, she goes, you need to go back to that spot where you need to heal that part of you when the wound had started. To forgive myself because I did nothing wrong. So I can be free now. To be more, not only clear, but to just hold people accountable and not, like I said, I compromised myself. That's not beating myself up. Trying to be the nice person because of what somebody else is going through. But I compromised me because I am a fucking nice person. I'm amazing. I know that. But I did compromise myself. And that's where I feel that the freedom comes, is just owning that. For me, it's owning that. And looking back as I'm talking here, like, because the energy is just flowing, you guys. It's the inner understanding, because that's the one word that keeps on coming to me. The inner understanding of this and that. We can always justify this or that, well, da 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 da, right? And that is not inner understanding. That's playing that. We're still doing that crazy dance and not stepping into our truth 100%. And what I allowed. But I'm able to look at it now for what it is and go, okay, the next time. Because it's going to be somebody else that shows up. Possibility. But at the same time, that kind of energy won't be brought into my field anymore. Those kinds of people. I could be why, And it's like, it's getting, all I can tell you guys is just getting so much clarity, so much everything. And this interconnection that I have right now, like, it's like literally, it feels like I'm finding my verbal voice. My voice has always been through my guitar, that part, but this is the verbal one now. And, you know, I'm finding this part. I want a way to express, but now it's getting to. And coming off these medications is the best thing, the best gift I could have gotten. And because of this community that I'm a part of, that I've gotten to understand myself more. You know, I've always known since my music was channeled that it was special. And that's why I went in a recording studio just to record it, not to create an album, but just to record it, to secure it so nobody else could ever try to say it was theirs. That's how it started. Because I knew my music was special. And then, you know, my mother has been gone at this point 10 years, 8 years, whatever it was. But her estate was well settled, okay, years ago. And so all of a sudden, I got a $3,000 check from my mom's estate. Go figure. And that's how my first album came about. And that's where, with my first album, this part's not going to be on the album itself. My original album, I'll show you guys this. This is my original album. Original. Yeah. Yes, I have an Ernie doll, and that was my Goldwing. I had a Goldwing motorcycle. And the only reason why the word expressions is there, because a friend of mine who's, well, that's very egotistical. People could see it that way, but I didn't feel that, but I was not honoring myself. That's how come the word expressions of me, myself, and I was on the first album. But what I want to show you guys is this. That's the original cover. And I dedicated this, not dedicated, rephrase that. I expressed my gratitude to my mom for the unexpected gift. I didn't say how much, doesn't matter. Yep. And, oh, by the way, the first song on the album is my mom's song, which is also now my Aunt Marjorie's song. As much as I love my mother, I still don't trust her to this very day. It's not me that did anything. Yep. And in this first album, I may scan these and put these online for you guys. There's Jean Sharp, which was their next door neighbor, most amazing woman I've ever met. She's very instrumental. She's the first person that ever saw me for me as a kid. Ferda was my counselor for 2.5 years. Dr. Poderico. Yeah, that's where the medication started. And like, I know some people get on the bandwagon about this. No, he only knows what he knows based on the system. We know this whole thing goes way up. We're not talking about way up. We're talking about people who have a good heart and soul and they come on this earth and they go to medical school. They don't know any different. They went there to help other people, like myself. So I have no regrets of any part of my journey, but I now have an inner understanding of what's really going on. My beautiful friend, Karen Hanna, if anybody you guys know Karen. Ken Durlard, my beautiful, beautiful friend. Wow. Barry was my roommate. Amazing guy. Catania Kyler. Reverend Catania Kyler. because after I was done counseling, the one thing that was, I could say the word missing, right, was my spirituality, and it was Reverend Catania Collar. And just so you guys also know, well, there's two parts of this. When I found out she was a minister of this church, and I said, look, I'm going to be honest with you, I have an issue with organized religion. And she says, me too. What? Well, I had the most amazing conversation with her. So I went to her spiritual center and witnessed Catania doing her magic. And she did a guided meditation. And with that energy, as she was guiding people, I could sense and feel everything. I went home and I channeled the song, which is called Instrumental Silence, which is now on an album by itself, and it's called the same title as the song. My very amazing cousin, Amy, yeah, and her parents, Aunt Marjorie and Uncle Albert. Yeah. And another friend, Wendy, when you guys hear me speak of where I was on this ranch for 8.5 years, her name was Wendy Riley. Yep. Because me and my boy, that was my boy. His name is Shelby. And she gave us a place to be in. I ended up being there 8.5 years. Here's a baby picture of me. That was the oldest one I had of myself, meaning my youngest one, meaning. And then recently, some photos have come my way where I'm even younger than this, because I don't have many photos of us. And this is me on my motorbike, my Gold Wing, and my boy. And that's on the deck at the ranch. Yeah. And this is in the back of the album. Now I had an aluminum trailer. Had a blast. I can never go back and capture those moments, but they give me the most warm, fuzzy feeling ever. And here's the actual disc, what it looks like. It's just blew me away. I'll sort of move it this way. What it is black and leaving the silver, and it created this amazing image. Just amazing. Because when he was the graphics guy was trying to tell me, I go, well, I can't see that. And he said, just let me show you on the thing. And when I saw it, I'm like, oh, because remember, it's going to be with silver, so it was going to really pop. And I trusted him. I could feel it. There's no reason for me not to trust him. And that's what happened. When I saw it, my mouth dropped. Because to see it in reality versus imagination, like, holy shit. Yeah. Okay. Well, you guys, okay, I know there's some people here. Oh, my beautiful sister Louise. Hello, beautiful lady, friend. I'm going to end this part right here. I'm just going to hang up because this is just chatting, talking, and then I'm going to be back. Just give me a sec here. Before I do this, I don't know what to call this, chatting. I know. Hold on. Oops. What'd you do? what I'm going to do here very shortly, I'm just changing. I'm putting here channeling energy verbally. Look out. No, I didn't say that. Look out. No, I'm just being cheeky. That's my cheekiness, you guys. Okay, I'm going to hang up, but I'm going to come right back because now it's going to be just guitar music. I didn't even know that this was going to happen. It just happened. That's what happens with me. It just happens. Be back in a sec. Okay, bye.